Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. There's John Dobson and Stephen Kitsoff for your questions in the room before we go to the guys on Zoom. See, Nathan's already got his hand up on Zoom, but Mubin, you've got your hand up. Yeah.
Yes, good afternoon, Dalton. Good afternoon, Stephen. Dalton, just in terms of your personal coaching history, is this the biggest game on Saturday for you? Because you've obviously been involved in many finals from Varsity Cup, from Lotto Cup under 21, Curry Cup. So is this the biggest game in your coaching career this weekend?
Yeah, I feel definitely. Yeah, all those finals you feel like lots invested, but this is just important for reasons bigger than what my own coaching. Just so important, like I think for the people of Cape Town, I measured to keep Cape Town smiling. So yes, the short answer is yes. Thanks.
And then Stephen, how's the preparation gone this week? Are you guys are you looking forward to Saturday, or is the nerves kicked in already?
No, I think preparation's gone very well. Looked at our game from last week and deep analysis into the Bulls game. So I think preparation's gone really well. I think nerves are still under control. I think closer to the weekend, we'll see me a bit more quiet and just focusing on task at hand.
Sorry, my final question, Dalton, just on the selection as well. On Saturday, we did speak about it, and it was on Monday. Selection of on week. Will you guys go with either Sergio or Angelo Davis?
Yeah, look, it looks. I mean, there's no point. I don't want to play any games. Sergio will play on the wing this week. I know Michael said it's announced Friday, but
14 more remain a mystery on Friday.
yeah.
Stephen.
Steve, today there was the URC announced that Ivan Roos is the player's player of the campaign, and obviously that's the biggest accolade that a player can get. And the captains and vice captains made the votes. Can you just give your thoughts on Ivan and his season, and the significance of being honoured by your fellow players?
No, I think it's very well deserved. I think he's been exceptional for us as a team. True Stormers man, works very hard on the field and off the field. So no, I think it's a great accomplishment, and he truly deserves it.
Robert, can you maybe just regards Evan? I guess there wasn't even any announcement regarding the signing. I think it came on loan initially. What were the kind of maneuvers that got him here, and has this kind of gone way over your expectations?
Yeah, I can't claim I knew he'd be the URC Players Player of the Year in his first year. No, we knew him from school. When we watched Greg Hechter, actually, his high performance, he said, listen, this guy's not happy at the Sharks. He picked it up from somewhere. And then I went to go look at some of his games at Power Boys High. I just saw the speed and the power and thought, cheapest, anyway, at that stage, we were shopping at Mr. I haven't said a brand. We were more bargain books than exclusive books, if you like. And I don't know if it's hot. So we'd take a chance. And it was a loan, the right. But when we got the loan, we had the right to convert, because I think if he came in and done really well, we may not have got the right to convert him to full time. But I think, Steve, after that, I knew about the speed and the power, but what's really I didn't know about was the intensity and the work rate, and just it's borne out by his stats. He's almost like got a Peter Steff-like work rate, but with obviously that speed and the power. I think I stand on a correction, but he's close to a flat 11 or a 10-900. So it's quite a good package. So that was it. We knew there was something there. Obviously can't claim to pretend it will go to the extent so quickly it has.
And your thoughts on the wing and birth, and in terms of you're losing quite a bit of physicality in Leland, and what's the challenge there for Sergio, and what unique things do you think Sergio brings, unique strengths might bring to?
I actually had a chat with Warwick on the field now. Llewellyn's out and out, you're right. He's physical, out and out striker, what you need, and you need that from a wing. I mean, he's a 110%. He has a car crash, but he's just the Sergio is a bit different. He played quite a bit of fullback. So Sergio, Warwick likes the idea of playing with Sergio because he's of a higher communication. If you're a striker, you haven't got time to make decisions or communicate like Sergio does. What is good for me is that they're both high ball, both equally good on the high ball. Sergio is, but Warwick, it's something completely different. You've got a guy there now with him who communicates. Warwick can pass him and let Sergio make a decision, and Sergio can produce the odd bit of absolute X factor magic. So very different, but and a different sort of setup of our team, but I don't think much difference in the overall shape of the team. He's not. As far as he's got a red card, he's not eligible to selection until that process is finished.
Just on that Sergio thing, I'm right in saying he played a lot.
Oh, he's played quite a lot. It was only.
It was only in the Zebra game.
Yeah, we gave Zas a game, but we gave Zas a game at Zebra because we thought we could give Zas a game and he was outstanding and we never sort of turned around. So it was pretty much regular until probably number one wing until then. Yeah. And I think my crude opinion is in the Currie Cup, he struggled a little bit at the start, maybe just, not used to playing, sometimes being dropped or left out. But the last couple, he was outstanding on Friday night at Stellenbosch.
I mean, I know you said that every week's games a playoff game, but the fact that this is the final and that if you win it, you actually get a trophy. Does it make a huge difference? I mean, you played the Bulls twice this year, and certainly the last game that you guys played in here, you sort of spoke about it as was a final, but this is a real final. I mean, is it different? Do you feel different?
I think. I honestly talking as coaches out there, it feels like a normal Stormers Bulls game. Just the pride of that game is so much for us. The trophy is almost incidental in this case. Look, makes us want to win it more, and I think neither team would like to see the other team raise the trophy, but it feels like a Stormers Bulls game to us. Like a proper bragging rights South African derby. That's how it feels. I think it'd be different if we were playing a Leinster or something like that. But there's so much on this game in terms of the history and the rivalry. It feels like it's just what it feels like.
Donald, the match officials have been named for Saturday. How are you sensitizing your players to whatever calls you may or may not get?
I think, it has been the whole tournament and for rugby generally for too long. I think we want to produce a better game than we did last week in terms of our behaviour on the field of all the teams. I think it wasn't tidy for rugby, both sides, and the whole thing, the whole mixture, all 31 people in the field at the same time, 33 if you include the ALs. I don't think last week was pretty or edifying, with arms going up, shouting, ceiling. So we want to make it a bit more pleasant. I don't think we helped our relations with the referee. But look, we had Andrew Brace here. We had Andrew Brace first in Munster, and we had one or two issues. That was, I think, when every South African team was having every issue on tour, everybody was sending clips in. And Trapper wasn't appointed yet. We had him back here for Glasgow, and we worked hard with him in the week, and I think we're really pretty happy with it. So, we think it's actually quite a good. Morris, really good TMO, and Jakob Paper. Yeah, we couldn't really ask for much better, I don't think.
Sorry.
There's the way that you see play on these guys level in terms of Stormers never having in a continental final.
The Stormers never.
There's the way that you see play a role.
No, I don't think so, kids. We talked about it. It came up, last. I think in the quarterfinal we never won a playoff. We've now won 2 playoffs. So we really defied history by being the first Stormers team to host an international tournament, final. So that I think we feel like we've broken a couple of things. We've won 2 playoffs. If you include the Shield, it's 3. The Shield I can't really get counted because there were conferences before. But we won 2, quarterfinal and semi-final, and we're the first Stormers team to host. So I don't feel like a bogey around that. We played 1 Super Rugby final. I don't think it's a sort of weight behind us in the sense.
Yeah, no, similar. I think the last international final that Stormers played was back in 2010. So I think this team has gone through a lot of ups and downs, but I think we as a team matured really well this year, and there's not that weight of the international final. So we understand it's how big it is, and we understand the consequences of the game. But yeah, as Dobbo said as well, it feels like a proper Stormers versus Bulls game. It's all that hype, emotions around that, and yeah, the trophy is just a cherry on the cake.
Yeah. Although a lot has been said about before the Instagram about the Jake White factor and coach at times won the World Cup and so on. But there's also something like the double factor. just your thoughts on what Jake will bring, his experience, and obviously you've got guys who's like Stephen who's played in World Cup finals.
Yeah, I think I was asked if this is the biggest game I'd coach a career. Yeah, for Jake White, definitely not. You know, he's coached and won a World Cup, and that got enormous respect. And for us, for us, it feels like a privilege. You know, for me as a coach to coach against somebody of his stature. It genuinely does feel like a privilege. I mean, he's coached all over the world. My mission is probably slightly different. You know, in that I want to coach Western Province and the Stormers, and I want rugby in this region. I grew up here. This means to me, there's not a coaching contract. You know, I'm not saying. This is what so I'm different. I haven't traveled the world. I haven't got the success or the track record he has, and maybe I bring something different. But for me, it is a privilege to coach against a World Cup winning coach. And this, he's coached in bigger games, and this, for me, this is the biggest. But it just means the world to me in this team.
We just mentioned the 2010 final. Obviously, 12 years later, we've got Dion and Brock. Stormers of Dion and Brock starting, or might be starting playing again. How big have they been in terms of helping the youngsters through this league?
To me, they're different. Brocky is just as quiet, there's this quiet confidence and aura. I mean, from such a decent, who's so passionate. I mean, I feel bad. 3.5 minutes. I mean, we pushed Kitsy too deep again, even deeper than we had the week before. 3.5 minutes, and Brocky comes off as if he's just, he's played 60s, as happy as can be. He's helped the team, which he has, but it's never about Brocky. It's about whatever the team is. His passion. He wants to get on there. He wants to play against. I don't know who the title will be, whether that's Van Rooyen. I think he wants to play against Bismarck. Where's Dion's vocal? Dion's up for this one. He speaks to the team after every circle. He reminds how important what's needed about staying on task. And it's an unbelievable story. It's almost a fairy tale that, comes out here in his 100th game, chosen for the Springbok squad. You're our first choice. The planets are aligning. Just need one more to get in line. But they bring a lot to the team, is the short answer.
Stephen, you had your hand up.
Yes. Steve, the Bulls beating Leinster. How much confidence do you think they are going to take from that, and specifically believe they will bring into the final because of that?
A lot. I think it's probably for them a great victory, probably beating the top standing URC side. But it's another weekend. So I mean, you're just as good as your last game, and last game's coming up this Saturday. So we'll see. And I think they'll come with a lot of confidence. We've got a lot of confidence as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
This will obviously be, for example, Warwick's last game. Is that something that you guys take in as a motivation into a game like this, the last game, or is it simply not mentioned in the build-up?
Yeah, it actually hasn't been mentioned yet, but I think we'll probably do something special for him after the whistle. I think Warwick's been an absolute standout character in the team. He brings something special every weekend, so he needs a fairy tale ending, and he deserves a fairy tale ending, and it's up to the other 14 guys on the pitch to make it happen for him. So I think he was a great Stormer man, and I think his legacy at the Stormers will stand for a long time.
Dobbo, you spoke a lot in the early part of the year before we sort of knew that all the games overseas just about the playing good weather. But you spoke a lot about having to have the two different types of game.
one for the normal hemisphere conditions.
Yeah.
Is this with the weather forecast still sort of a bit juicy for the weekend? Is this one where you sort of start bringing your other game out of this in the preparation?
Yeah, I think what's happened to us, Gavin, is, and it's changed to my mind, it's changed a bit since we chatted, where we had and it still might be the case, we go to the Northern European winter and we've got Steph Unger coming out, we might decide that's the box kick. Our feeling at the moment is that our style is something that it's a little bit hybridized at the moment. We want kick, let them exit, kick onto us, and then we'll try and have a crack. I'm being very crude. And I think that at the moment, with the skill of a Warwick and Damien and a guy like Damien's physical presence, it sort of suits, it sort of can do both. I think if the way, but where I would say, I think territory becomes just slightly more important than it has been normally for us if the weather is like that. So, yeah, you want the other team exiting to you. And that means for that you have to be winning territory. So that becomes probably the sort of emphasis we'll put the emphasis.
Connected with that, Stephen, you're scrumming this field, if it is a wet day. I mean, it doesn't seem to stand up very well even on a dry day. I mean, how confident are you that you'll be able to scrum properly on this surface?
Yeah, we've got the field technician came over and will talk to me and Dobble this morning, just to mark out the spots where the field will actually probably hold up the best. But it is tough conditions, but we are luckily in the fortunate position to have played on this field 8 odd times, and so we understand how the field tears up, and we actually worked it into our training for the last 3 months to prepare to scrum on a slippery pitch. So it's always a challenge, and if something goes wrong, then there's always opportunity. But I think we're well prepared, understand the pitch, understand the surface of Greenpoint.
Yeah, having said that, in this competition, we haven't seen much scrums or teams that awarded scrum penalties, and maybe with the South African sides and maybe South African depth, maybe that's something that you guys can exploit. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not a South African.
No, that's African touch AOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the being South African AOS, I'd probably point out a bit more illegal scrummaging. So there might be opportunity to get the upper hand when it comes to that. But I think scrum, so at the end of the day, I think refs are trying to blow it so it becomes more of a free-flowing thing to get the ball in and out. But teams who truly want dominance have to work completely, have to work exceptionally hard to actually get that dominance, and that's something we as a pack are prepared to do. So we'll work hard this weekend, and hopefully we swing the ref in our favour when it comes to scrum dominance.
And
then just on the selection again, are you guys going to go with bomb squad selection 16 then? Because I asked this again because the last 2 games we've seen that the backs they had 2 injuries.
Yeah.
Chris and Gordon coming on last week. So at risk, are you going to go with extra back or still stick with the 6-2?
I can't remember when we last went 5-3. Not this year. What did they say? That if you twin what's the chance of the heads? The injuries could happen just 2 weeks, can't happen just 3 weeks. Of course, it's 50-50 again. But Michael, tell us the team's going to be announced on
Friday. Yeah, that's right.
But I don't see us changing.
Well done, Dobber. Gavin Dillon, other of you.
Stephen, you played 3 massive games here last year in front of no one. You sort of like a series that reverberated around the world. It's a big game for you on Saturday, but you've got that big crowd coming along. And how much more fun is it? How much more do you sort of get into it? Because
no, a lot. I think probably would have been a completely different picture a couple of months ago if there was similar crowd to what there's going to be this weekend. But no, it is absolutely electrifying, and the atmosphere is great. So playing in front of a full stand of fans and actually hearing them cheering and you hear the oohs and the ahs and the laugh in the cheering, it gets the energy levels high quickly.
Makes it a lot more fun.
100%.
Gabo, there's a bit of history between some of the players and the Bulls, obviously with Warwick coming down here from the Bulls and Marnie obviously via the Sharks. And there was reported negotiations between Damien and the Bulls. Does that sort of factor into this final, or is it after 2 games, is it sort of out of the system as a motivator?
It's look, I mean, I should talk it down and everything, but the Stormers, it's actually good. It's good for South African rugby. I mean, we had a team meeting here a couple of hours ago, and you know, some of the players, I think, or Dion Free in the field, talked about the Stormers Bulls and the rivalry and the passion and it is definitely different amongst our players, and still is. And I suppose we don't really want that to change, because you know, one of the fears in rugby is rugby becomes vanilla. You know, we play against this team, a team we haven't heard, just put our tracksuits on, go and turn up, and there's no, to have the passion that's coming out this week. I'm sure it's happening in Pretoria. To have the way we spoke in the team meeting, Kitsi, Rito spoke up, and it was personal. Not personal like as in front of Rito, but this meant the world. You know, he stood up. Dion spoke in the circle about Stormers Bulls, and you know, I've taken them back to stories of you know, beyond the 80s, Mornay's tackle on Nas in the 70s. It's great for rugby that we got these rivalries. We mustn't wash them down to become like any other game. And from the players themselves at the moment, this is, as Stevie said, as Stephen said himself, Stormers Bulls trophies are cherry on top. I think that's great for rugby. So you know, some of it no cheap tricks. You know, I'm not trying to throw out stuff. We don't need the Stormers Bulls spotted our fibre.
Well, as we're happy in the room, mate. We can see who's got a question on Zoom. Nathan, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I just got 2 questions, one for each. Why is everyone doing this? Dobbo beating the Bulls twice in round robin. Do you feel that helps to get the mental edge over the Bulls? I mean, how do you go about preparing for the game? Because Marcel this morning said it will be personal for them to get revenge.
Yeah, look, I mean, the games were close. I mean, the last one was 1970. We burgled Loftus. Again, I'll make some chip. Like, I read that we burgled Loftus 30-26, but no, we did. We got away with it. This whole conference, you know, this Lions, was so tight going down to the last few minutes at Park Scarlet. So, you know, we don't feel like we've got one over the Bulls radically, that we're a better team or anything based on those 2 results. I appreciate if I'd lost 2 in a row against them. And it happened just before. I mean, I think they got 3 or 4 in a row against us over the lockdown period. So I appreciate that they come for revenge. No, for us, it's you know, it's a classic derby, starting from scratch, everything on the line. What I do absolutely guarantee, this is not a Stormers team that's going to choke or fade away, or that we might make mistakes. The Bulls might get us. But we're going to put absolutely everything out there. So absolutely, this team. What we can all sit here, as you guys have been here the whole time. This team has never not turned up. Even that game we lost against the Lions, we were 65% territory in possession. We made a million mistakes, but we will be there in intensity. Make no mistake.
Yeah, just to add on to that, what you just said now. I mean, Kitsi, Joel Stransky previewed the final and mentioned the Stormers battle at times to put together an 80-minute performance from Edinburgh and Ulster last week. I'm sure you learned in terms of eliminating those small errors and converting opportunities to points.
Yeah, I think we, as a team, we're creating a load of opportunities. It's just executing them or getting a final pass to stick or a knock on in front of the line. So we're going to create opportunities. We're going to make mistakes, as Dobbo said, but for us as a team, it's to put up an 80-minute performance. That's probably the first thing. And then from there on, just absolutely come off the field with no regret. I mean, just playing for each other, playing for Cape Town, playing for the friends and family that support us through this whole journey. So, yeah, we're going to try and put up an 80-minute performance, and we actually try to do that every weekend. And just, as I said, just finishing those moments that we give ourselves.
All right. Nolo, you're next.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Can you?
Yes. Good day, Coach and Stevie. I've got one question for each. For Kitsoff.
Yes.
You had a great season in the URC this season, and now being back into the box squad. What are some of your improvements that you've noticed this season? you like to apply going into the box?
Yeah, I think, to be totally honest, the box is next week's focus, with all due respect. But this weekend is all about the Stormers. I think some things that I would take during the season for this weekend's game is just the way the guys actually, how can I put this, how the guys actually matured and became professional. I think there's a lot of talk among us where guys were missing out on their analysis work or not doing the extras, but there was a complete change in mindset as the years gone on, and you actually see guys working incredibly hard to be better for the team. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that will be taken into to say a box camp or even for this weekend.
Okay, thanks. And Coach Dobo, great season as well. Many didn't expect for Stormers to go this far, but you beat Bulls in the round robins. Going into this final, what is your proudest thing about this team? There was a lot of individual brilliance that happened throughout the season. Your Ivan Ross, Mane Libok, Kitsev. So what are you most proud of for this campaign going to the final?
I think, the way that because, often one starts, business and various aspects of the life, you set out mission statements of goals and they end up in the wall of the gym and that sort of thing. And ours was, we started with something called Get Cape Town Smiling. And we started that, and it was how we engaged with the people, the style of rugby we played, trying to give people some sort of thing to escape from your lives sitting on taxis on the N2 or whatever the story was. And we all bought to the team. And what probably my proudest selfishly was that the team bought into it. And then overall as a collective that we, I showed the team some footage. Somebody took footage last week of the crowd as Marnie's about to take the kick. And you just see, half the hands are like this, and you just see the hands as the kick goes over. And the jumping, and it goes on. So, no, because often those become mission statements which don't get achieved. And ours was to get Cape Town Smiling. I think whatever happens on Saturday, we've done that. So that's probably the thing I'm most proud about.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, nice one. We're done here, guys. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll catch you on Saturday. See you then.
Yeah.
Michael, can I ask you a question, please?
Oh, whoa. Percy Young.
Oh, no.
With the late hand.
Oh, don't you want me to ask questions?
Percy, do you have a question?
I have a few, sir. I have a few.
Oh, okay, settle in.
Guys can go, sure.
Coach, can I ask you, John Dobson and Stephen Kutzer, firstly, congratulations and all the best of luck for this coming weekend. Coach, can I ask you, Stephen asked about the URC Awards winners list that was sent out, and he mentioned Ivan Roos. He didn't mention the fact that 4 of your other team players have also been named in a dream team, accolades for your team. He also didn't mention the fact that Leon Lanzas is still the top try scorer. Is it a bit of a pity for you not having the top try scorer in this special final this week? And a last part to that first question, though, Coach, is would you want to add your name to this list of URC awards, being possibly the coach of the season at the end of at 80 minutes on Saturday?
I think that firstly, as regards Zas, that's more personal. That I feel terrible. I mean, the guy spoke to him on Monday, told him not to be part of the team, and he just said it was too painful. So that Zas is missing him from a player point of view. Surgeons do a good job, but from a personal, emotional point of view, just that's the devastation around Zassi, with his top try scorer. Serge will do a great job on the field. I just feel sorry for the kid. They have really chosen coach this season, and that's Leo Cullen with Leinster. And I think that's a good shot because look how they rotated and played. As regards the dream team, it makes me very proud that they're for 5 Stormers. 5 Stormers, the best of any club. And these awards just show that we did something right this season. Too proud.
Coach, does these awards, does it mean anything for you? Or could it possibly be a distraction heading into this very important match for you as a coach, though, as a team?
No, the awards are done and dusted. Guys are pleased with it. No, it's not a distraction. They're all brand new. I mean, one comes out, players play, or verging, what's it, 20, what's it, 23. Yeah, I think maybe in a couple of years' time when the competition is more established, they might be more of a distraction once we know it's all new to us and we're just very grateful recipients at the moment.
Right, Steven, die gaan ons nou, Steven. Steven, eerstens, jy lyk baie kalm. As ek kyk na die beeldmateriaal op die oomblik hierso. Is dit die stilte voor die storm voor die naweek?
Ja, ek dink die senuwees sal seker later in die week inskop. Maar ja, nee, ek dink ons het 'n goeie week gehad sover, so ja, ek is kalm so dit sit.
Steven, kan ek jou vra as 'n ervare man, 'n man wat al wêreldbeker gewen het, hoe is jou geestestoestand as die leier van hierdie Stormerspan in die aanloop tot hierdie wedstryd? Julle speel toe 'n span soos julle reg in Engels heelpad genoem het dat hulle het ook heelwat motivering om goed te kom vaar in die Kaap, veral wat julle al vroeg in die seisoen met hulle gedoen het al. Hoe is jou geestestoestand? Hoe is jou span se geestestoestand in die aanloop tot hierdie wedstryd?
Ja, nee, ek dink ons is in baie goeie plek op die oomblik. Ek dink Dobber het ook vroeër genoem is 'n nuwe bladsy. Wat gebeur in die verlede het gebeur en ek dink Marcel het gepraat oor hulle wil ons terugkry vir daai 2 games, maar ons sien dit as 'n nuwe game. Ons sien dit as 'n North versus South Stormers spille. Ons sien dit as 'n proper derby met die trofee as die cherry op die koek. So ja, ek dink die ouens is in 'n baie goeie plek. Ek dink ons almal verstaan en almal weet en Brandas noem die hele tyd hoe belangrik 'n final is en hoe werk georiënteerd ons moet wees en hoe professionals moet wees, maar op die einde van die dag is wat die verskil gaan wees is wat se span mees desperaatste is op Saterdag en dit die meeste wil hê.
So net my voorlaaste vraag dan net jy het in Engels gepraat van die verlede beteken absoluut niks vir julle. Jy het gepraat van die 2010 gebeure daar vir die Stormers nou. En julle is 'n nuwe groep, 'n baie jonger groep. Sê jy vir my in Afrikaans, julle het geensins, julle stel glad nie belang in wat in die verlede gebeur het. Julle fokus net wat nou Saterdag gaan gebeur vir julle as 'n Stormergroep.
Ja nee, ek dink ja, die verlede is die verlede vir 'n rede en ons as 'n nuwe groep spelers ek dink die enigste twee ouens is maar Dion Fourie en Brock Harris wat daai tyd betrokke was, maar is 12 jaar terug, so ek dink die ouens is op 'n baie goeie plek en ek dink ons het baie lesse geleer. Ek dink die Stormers as 'n unie het baie lesse geleer en deur baie goeie tye en slegte tye gegaan in die laaste 12 jaar, maar ek dink hierdie seisoen veral ek dink is 'n skitterende seisoen gewees vir die Stormers as 'n brand. Ek dink ouens die manier hoe die dinge begin gebeur het en die kan mens sê conference by die ouens mekaar gekry het as 'n span en die manier hoe ons gecoach word en die manier hoe ons wil speel staan uit op die oomblik. So ek dink die span is in 'n baie goeie plek. So ja, niks weg te vat van daai 2010 Stormers groep af. Ek dink vandag se Stormers is heeltemal ander beast van 'n span. So kan stel.
En Michael gaan tevrede wees dat dis my laaste vraag is dat Steven, ek wil dan vra dan. Kan jy net vir my iets sê dalk oor die spanne wat in die droomspan genoem is, die accolades wat julle as 'n groep spelers kry. En Steven, is hierdie wedstryd wat nou kom die naweek, is dit dalk 'n motivering vir julle as 'n Stormers, as 'n unie, veral in die lig wat in die laaste paar maande by julle as 'n unie agter die skerms gebeur het? Dink jy so?
Ja, ek dink ja, eerstens, ek dink dis wel verdien elke ou wat Zassie, Roos, en dink almal wat toekennings gekry het, almal wat benoem is in die Dream Team, is 100% wel gedaan en hulle verdien 100% van die toekennings wat na hulle toe kom. Die ouens het skitterende rugby gespeel, die Stormers eerste gesit, hulle werk baie ernstig opgevat en hulle het skitterende rugby gespeel en so ek kan nou nie tweede gedeelte van die vraag onthou nie.
Is hierdie wedstryd dalk motivering vir julle in die lig van wat die laaste paar maande gebeur het?
Ja, ek dink ons as 'n span het gegroei oor die laaste 3 maande vanaf ons teruggekom het van toer af, vanaf ons al die tuiswedstryde begin speel het. So ek dink ons het genoeg gedoen om te bewys dat ons goed genoeg is as 'n Stormers Unie en as 'n span, maak nie saak wat agter die skerms gebeur. Ek dink rugby is rugby vir rede en ons wil net 'n goeie performance op elke naweek gee vir die skare en vir die mense wat ons ondersteun. So ja, ek dink dit sal enigstens 'n motivering wees, maar ek dink is net ons wil net opdaag, great rugby speel en die mense rondom ons trots hou.
Awesome. Dankie Percy. Dankie almal. Catch you Saturday. Cheers.
Thank you.